Wow. We're going to give it a couple minutes, let everybody get here. Even though you guys are off today, happy Veterans Day. For you guys that are off, still want to give you time to get here. Give me a sec. All right, good people. We're going to get started at 12 o'clock. I figure I can go live every day at 12. You know, this will keep me interacting with you guys, and I'm bringing nothing but fire. Today will be the first day of that. Sorry, drinking my juice. What's this? Beet, carrot, and orange. So I'm going to have red stuff all over my face. All right, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, my name is Franklin Frank Financial Brown. I am the founder of Live Free, Give Hope. We are a real estate giveaway company. As far as I know, we're the first and only to just specifically focus on giving away real estate leases. And we're going to do this. We're giving away furnished homes, apartments for 1 year, furnished with utilities, furnished with furniture and utilities, sorry. But I'm gonna show you guys how winning this apartment that we're giving away, the first giveaway that we're doing is a 1-bedroom apartment in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, whoever wins this will receive a value, the living free for a year on this particular apartment. The rent is normally $1,200 a month. If you do 1,200 times 12, that brings you to $14,400. And when you throw the utilities in there, which is about another $3,000, that brings you to $17,400. We're going to get to that so I can stay on track. We're going to start off with the format that I would like to follow: who, what, when, where, why, and how. We're going to keep it basic. Today is day one, but my goal is to come and give you some gems every day. And I'll let you know that if you win this apartment, what we're going to lay out when I go live is basically a blueprint for you to get rich. I'm going to show you different ways, but it is a blueprint. If you can live rent-free anywhere, even if you're staying with your parents, if you're making money and you're not giving that to a mortgage or to a rent, well, that's money that you can do something with. And I'm going to show you how you win our giveaway and you're rent-free. You're working with an investor that has done it, has been in the steps. I've worked a job. I bought a starter property. I've lived in it. But we'll talk about all that. First, let's get started with who is this for? And give me a second. Let me take off the sweat. I've already started pumping myself up, getting fired up. I got to take off my Live Free, my rent-free smile hoodie. Hold on for a sec. Okay, the Live Free Core T-shirt. We get you 30 bonus entries. Okay, who is this for? The simple answer is for anyone who wants to take their life to the next level. Anyone who wants to become a real estate investor. Anyone who wants to start a business. Anyone who wants to get rich. Now, a more complicated way to answer that is who I am. Because the way I'm going to teach this, the information that I'm going to give you is not for everyone. Most of the time that I'm talking, it's only for hustlers. It's not for the people that have excuses that, well, I can't do this because of this. I can't, if you have stipulations on how you can get something done, it may not be for you. But something that I know is that winners have something about them. And if you win this giveaway, there's probably something about you that can get these things done, that can follow my blueprint or the instructions that I'm going to give you. So who am I? I go hard. I've gone hard for as long as I can remember. Well, not as long. I remember when I used to be average. I'm going to put it that way. I remember being in high school, doing average things, getting average grades, putting in an average work, having an average work ethic. You know, I didn't even know at that time that the people who get things done, they just get it done. They don't make excuses. You know, everybody has a reason on why they can't get something done. The folks that make it happen, they just do it. They just tell you why. Everybody's going to say why it can't be done. They're going to show you. They're going to tell you how it can be done. And that's what I'm going to do for you here. So if you believe the reason I'm in my position, a multi-million-dollar real estate investor, is because I believed the information that was put out there. I'm not going to waste my time telling you guys any nonsense. I want whoever wins this giveaway to be rich, to follow whatever there's multiple ways to get there. Now, you do not have to win the giveaway in order to follow this blueprint or this path. But you can. So who am I? I'm Franklin Brown. I'm a real estate investor. I bought my first one at 22. I've been rich when I was younger. I had a family. I lost it all, but now I'm back again. Rich again. Now, your definition of rich may be different than mine. Mine is freedom. I haven't worked a job since I was 35 years old, you know, and it wouldn't have been, I would have stopped a long time sooner if I knew about creative financing. We'll talk about that. I'm not going to take too much of you guys' time between this 12 o'clock hour, 12 o'clock to 1 at the most, because you guys are probably, besides today, because it's Veterans Day, but you're probably normally at work between 12 and 1. So if I can catch you on your lunch break and give you some gems, I'm going to do that. Thank you for joining. Sorry, my phone is sideways. Thank you for joining the live. I am going to show you guys and tell you guys what I have done and how you can follow the blueprint and get rich yourself. We're giving away free rent for a year, you know, a value of $17,000. So who this is for? It's for the hustlers. Who am I? I'm a hustler. I'm going to give it to you nonstop. We'll talk about that. What is this about? It's about how to get rich. It's how, if you don't have the overhead of a mortgage or rent, what can you do with that money? What opportunity does that provide you if you're not paying rent? You know, it's ridiculous. You know, if you have an extra $1,200 a month, what can you do with that money? I'm going to show you what I think you should do, you know, what I would do and what I have done. Sorry, my lips are ashy. Wow. This is day one, guys. Work with me. What is this about? How to get rich. When? We're going to base it on 1 year. Because if you win this giveaway, you'll be living rent-free for a year. If you're currently paying rent now, that's money that you will not have to shell out. You can put it right back in your pocket. And some of you guys may know that, well, if you don't have to go work a job in order to pay rent, well, now you can work on your hustle. Now you can start your own business because you don't need the $1,200 or the $1,400 a month to come in to pay for your rent and your utilities. So that's what we're going to talk about. Today, we're going to focus on, at that year, what you could do with that $17,400. You know, now we can talk about what's coming in on a monthly basis, what you can do with that. And we will talk about those things. You know, if you have an extra $1,200 a month, what do you do with that first $1,200? We will talk about those things. Today is day one, guys. So 1 year, you can call it getting rich. You can call it financial freedom. You can call it whatever you want. But I know that just on what we're going to talk about today can change your life because it changed mine. Okay. Where? The giveaway is in Atlanta. You can do this anywhere. But for this scenario, we're talking about winning a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Atlanta. Now, you can be staying with your mama, with a relative. The whole thing is rent free. If you're not paying $1,000, $800, whatever you may be paying. Our example is $1,200 because that's what we charge for the apartment, and that's what the prize is worth. Why? Why should you be doing this? Because everybody wants to get rich. Nobody wants, I won't say nobody, but most people don't dream about working for somebody else when they're a child. When you were a child, did you think about working for UPS? Was your dream to go be a whatever, a whatever? My dream was always to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. I used to work at Taco Bell, and I told the people at Taco Bell, Mr. Whitehead was the owner. He owned 7 Taco Bells. I told them, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a check for coming in because I own something. That's what we're going to do here. So this is going on. So why should you do this? If you want freedom, if you are, I'm going to go back to who I am. Started with nothing. I do not have tons of college education. I was an Army veteran. I did the Army, not an officer, enlisted, got it out the mud, straight from high school to the Army. And this does not take any super education. It just takes the know-how. It just takes, one, you got to have the heart. You know what I'm saying? Most people can't do this because they're scared. They're fearful. They're all of that. That's why I said, oh, this is for the hustlers. This is for the brave. This is not for the weak-hearted. Like anything, like any business you start. Real estate is a business. Where were we? That's why I wrote this down so I could stay on track. Why should you do this? Why I do it. My kids are grown now. One, freedom. But the reason I can go ahead and start giving back, I guess when you get old, I'm at a point right now to where I don't need every dollar. The days of wanting, just material things have passed, and I think that as people get older, they realize they don't need everything. It's really about freedom. It's about family freedom. It's about times. You guys may not know this, or you may, but the reason I do it is because I'm in the season of my life where I'm giving back. And I believe that I have a better real estate model than the current model. I've been doing things the old school way, just like Airbnb has come in and changed the model. I believe that the live free model is a better model. I still do. I have some Airbnb. I have some traditional rentals. I want everything to be the live free model. That's why I'm doing this. Another reason I'm doing it, I'm trying to show my children and the rest of the world that you can change the world. I used to be a little kid. This little kid from East Oakland, from California, raised in the hood, is changing the world. How? There's multiple ways to do this. For today's example, it's easy peasy. I just posted the other day. You guys may have seen me go live. I was standing in front of my property. If you see, we're going to show you guys days on market. Hold on for a second, guys. What does that say? Days on market, 4 days on the market. I just went live the other day. I think it was either Friday or Saturday. And I asked you guys, should I sell it or should I give it away? My agent put it on the market that day. He actually got an offer that day. It was in his email. He sent it to me last night, and this morning after last night, they offered full asking, but they wanted me to pay some money towards their closing, and they wanted me to pay 3% to their real estate agent. I said no. I said, let's raise the price and we can pay your agent that way, and we can give you the money that you want for closing. They said, fine, we did it. Full price asking, 4 days on the market. If you guys go back and watch the live I did, I gave you guys the numbers on what I bought it for and the reason of why I sold it. And I'll do another video on the breakdown of the numbers, what I paid for it, what I've done to it, how long I've had it, how I cash flowed it. Yes, I've had that property over 7 years, and I've been renting out those units for 7 years. And now that I'm selling it. Why am I selling it? For this business model here. Let's talk about this $17,400, because the person that's buying the property, the 4-unit property that I put online, the person that's buying it, I heard they're moving into it. They're doing the smartest thing you can do. Exactly what I was going to tell you guys to do today. Guess what? On the price that they're putting down, they're putting 5% down. You know, what does that mean for you? What is $17,400 5% of? After a year, you'll have $17,400 in your bank account. Theoretically, you should. You know, if you were paying rent, but now instead of paying rent, you put it into an account, you have $17,400. Getting a 5% loan, going to the bank and getting a 5% down payment, that's up $348,000. You can buy a property with $17,400 down. You can buy a $348,000 property. Guys, I'm selling this quad for, it's $535 now. Originally $510, but it's $535. I have a duplex around the corner that I'm selling for $285,000. I'm not trying to sell you my duplex right now because you're not in there. Now, for those people that already have a down payment, you can pick up my duplex for less than $17,000. Let's see what the math is on that. Let's see what the math is if you're doing a 5% down. My first property, FHA, I put 3.5% down. I bought a 3-unit triplex in Lilburn. I think it was like $132,000. I put about $7,000 down. You know, something like that. I think that may have been total closing. But that 3-unit changed my life. Why? Because I was able to move from a house that I was renting for $2,800. I went from paying $2,800 a month to paying nothing, to actually receiving money from the other 2 tenants. I live free. That's how I'm able to buy this property that I'm giving you. The property I'm giving you is because I moved into a 3-unit and it basically cut my overhead. I went from shelling out every money to stacking money. That's what you can do if you win this giveaway. Now, you can save, you can do these other things, but for this example, one of the reasons I'm doing the Live Free Give Hope is so that you can have this and you can pay it forward. Like I just said, I have a duplex for sale right around the corner from the property that I put on the market. 4 days, went under contract. If I would have signed on Saturday, it would have been on the market 1 day. I knew it was a good price. I'm throwing alley-oops up there. Some people may be trying to take everything. Not me. I throw the alley-oops up there. You know, let's go back to the numbers of 285. So I'm selling a duplex right around the corner. It's in East Point. It's currently rented out. Both sides. The tenants are paying $900 on each side. Now, that rent is low. I haven't raised their rent in years. You know, that's one of the bad things about being a softie in the real estate game. You know, that's one of the bad things. You see these people, they're down and out, and you don't want to just take everything. And you know you don't need everything, but there's always a lifespan. There's always a time where things change. And right now, those things are going to change. Sorry, this calculator, let me pull out my other thing. Pull out this. Okay, so 285 times 5%, $14,250. So you can buy my duplex, and if there's other duplexes on the market, but the one that I'm selling in East Point, you can live in one side and rent the other side out. It costs you $14,250 down. That's if you put 5% down. I'm using 5% because I know that you can come in with less than 5%. I know if you're living rent free for a year, you can get a job. Let me tell you guys what I did. I knew that I wanted to make money on paper. I knew I didn't have any skills. I had no skills. I had owned a janitorial business and I owned real estate. I lost it all in my bankruptcy. But I knew, and this is all I knew at the time, I didn't know about creative financing. I knew that if you made money on paper, that you qualify. Back in the day, if you qualified, let's say it was 3 times what you made. If you made 50,000, you would qualify for about 150,000. You made 70,000, you qualified for 210. So I knew I wanted to make money on paper. With no skills, I found out that personal trainers, especially here in Atlanta, they have high-end gyms. They have something called Lifetime Fitness, where the average session is about $99 an hour. You're selling personal training at $99 an hour. They usually give you about half of that. So $50 an hour. They have advertisements that you can make $100,000 a year as a personal trainer. So $100,000 a year on paper equals about a $300,000 purchase price. So all I knew, my goal was to make $100,000 on paper. Now, I bought before I was making $100,000 on paper. I was making about $70,000. I was making probably about $50,000 in the gym, and I was doing some personal training on the side. I was stacking it up on the side, running boot camps. I was teaching, having personal training sessions. I worked with gymnasts. I did it all because I knew I needed to have money on paper. When you're living rent-free, if you wanted to, I was a personal trainer. It's a weekend certification. Some people get it done in a weekend. It may take you a little bit longer. It's called NASM. It's something, you can look it up. Maybe it's $200. You take a dang on a BS certification, and then you go get a job at the gym and you just go all out. They called me the mayor. I was talking to everybody because I had a goal. I knew I had to make money on paper. So let's go back to this example. At 5%, that's probably the most you're going to be paying, especially if you have a job, because you can come in FHA. What I'm recommending is that you're going to be here for a year rent-free. There's organizations, there's different types of loans where you can come in zero money down. So you can stack up $17,000 and you can still find a property for zero money down. The property that I'm selling, the duplex, you could buy that zero money down. It's probably going to be gone after this year, by the time you get there. But it's not the only one. There's no scarcity. There's deals out there. You hang around with me for a year, and you will find deals. I plan on coming back to you guys every day at 12 o'clock. We're on at 12, and I'll show you some of the deals that I'm talking about. 17,400, 5%. Now, this 348,000. Yes, you do have to qualify for that. Like I just mentioned, in the scenario, if you're making 100,000, you qualify for 300,000. Now, I'm sure those numbers are different. I'll look up those numbers, what they are now. But when you get in here, just like I had the mindset that I'm going to get in here and make $100,000 on paper, you can do the same thing. I just gave you one scenario of being a dang on a personal trainer. You don't have to just be a personal trainer. I owned a janitorial company. There's a franchise called JanPro. I'll bring up the numbers. I'll even bring the personal trainers and the NASM, and we'll break this all down. But having a janitorial company, that's another way you can make 6 figures. Then it makes it so much easier to have money saved, money coming in, and to buy property. And the easiest way that I won't say the easiest, but the way I recommend getting into the game is buying a multifamily. You're already, for the winter, you're already living rent-free. You might as well keep living rent-free. You might as well move over to owning it, moving into one of the units, and you can get a duplex, 3-plex, or 4-plex. They just changed the law not too long ago to where it's back to 5% for all 4 units down. At one point they had changed it, said the first one's 5, the second is 10, the third is 15, and so forth. So they was trying to hit you for 20%, maybe even 25%. Now we're back down to the 5% days, 3.5% days, zero money down days. If you're a veteran, you can stay here for a year, stack your dough up, and then come in and buy something zero money down. I think for firefighters and teachers, they have these zero money down, and they have these organizations. I think one is called NACA. NACA, they have a program. I think if you go through it, you can come in zero money down. Any questions? Let me see. Thank you for joining. Any questions? Is this for me to hit the wave or is that for you guys to hit the wave? If you have any questions, I will answer them directly. This is the same thing I say about the giveaway. When's the best time to win anything? When there's no competition. Right now, I'm not these big gurus that's hard to get a hold of. I'm at the apartment. I'm not there right now, but I'm at the apartment often. You can swing by. I'm a person you can talk to. I show you guys my real properties. This ain't theory. Guys, this is not theory. I'm a real person. I know I use AI on some of the videos because I can't shoot them all. That's why I'm going live, so I don't have to do all of the editing. But I'm a real person that you can talk to. You can shoot me a message and say, Frank, I'm looking at this deal right here. What do you think? This right here is going to help somebody become rich. It's simple. If you have less coming out than you have coming in, it's easy to stack it up. But a lot of times, I can't tell about every other country, but here in America, we're up to our eyeballs in debt. What we make is what we spend. I'm giving folks an opportunity to not have to spend their largest expense. I won't say the only way, but the reason I am rich is because I lived in a 3-unit. I told my wife, and it was good. We went from staying in a 2,800 square foot house, driving a Porsche. We had a wine cellar. You guys that worked at Lifetime, you know me. You guys, you guys know this is facts. Had this huge house. The house was so big, our kids had to stay in our room because they were so scared to stay in their room. It was so far away. So where I'm going with that is I gave up the nonsense to come down here and do something like this, and it's changed my life. I was working like crazy to stay in that house. Like that, I told you $70,000 as a personal trainer, $2,800 a month is going to the damn property. That's almost $36,000 a year, half my dang on salary, easy. And then you got children, but I want to keep coming here. Because this is a way that you can get rich. You can win this and you can get rich. Now, this ain't the only way. And I'm going to show you guys, for even those people who don't win, step by step. How long have we been talking? Because I don't want to talk you guys' ear off. We're almost at 30 minutes. Bam. Let's talk about, we're going to come here one more time. So 5%, you guys can Google this. FHA, 3.5% and 0% down. These are the things that even before you win, you want to start looking at. You also want to find out, if you have a job right now, how much you would be approved for. It costs you nothing. Yes, they will run your credit probably, but you can find out what you're approved for. And you can start right now saying, okay, it's the end of 2025. By the end of 2026, I plan on having XYZ, and I'm going to put that 0% down, 3.5% down, 5% down. I'm going to show you guys how you can find these properties. Just like my property is on Zillow. That 4-unit was on there one day and it was taken. My duplex, I haven't even looked it up. My duplex may be on there. I'm not just trying to sell you guys my duplex, but I'm just trying to show you that this is real. This is not theory. This is real life right now. I'm doing this real life right now. Let's see. I actually, at this moment, so you guys see the quad. The quad is up for, it was 510, it's 535 now, under contract. I got the duplex, $285,000. And then I also have a single family out in Snellville. I think we're at 335. Guys, right now, real life, over $1 million in property on the market. This guy, you know what I'm saying? Regular, just like you regular. Somebody like you. I got $1 million property worth of properties on the market right now. Why? It's to put into this model. It's to put into the Live Free model. It's so that not only can this grow, but people can also do it. You know what I'm saying? People can. This isn't just something that I can do. You know, once it's sustainable, then we can show other investors how to do this. And hopefully it's the winner. Hopefully the winner comes here, stacks up this dough, has a side hustle. You know, let's go back to this. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I keep hitting on this, but 17,000 back in your pocket. Let's say you get a side hustle and you're making another $1,200. That's another $14,400 in your pocket. What is that? That's 8 plus 7, 11. That's $31,000. This can change somebody's life. If you had $31,000 at the beginning of, 2027, could you get rich? You know, it'd be 2027. Could you get rich if you had an extra $31,000? I just told you that somebody is buying my four-unit quadruplex for less than $31,000. I think they're spending $24,000. It was $24,000 when it was at 510. I haven't done the new numbers, but that's what I received. $31,000. Can you get rich? Yes. Especially if you have somebody that can help you. You know, I can see if you're only looking at these people on YouTube and these gurus and they're just talking. Oh no. You come to me with $38,000. We probably could buy something today. You know, we probably could buy something today if you came to me with $31,000, $17,000. We can do deals. Like I told you, my first deal, I came out less than $7,000 for that 3-unit. Guys, for the properties that I'm selling the fourplex and the duplex, 6 units. It was $375. I put 5% down. I put $22,000 down. I put 5% down. I put $22,000 down, and I bought 6 doors. You can do this also. You're going to be close to that after 1 year. That's if you just take in what you would be paying for rent. That's not talking about side hustle though. Any questions? All right. I'm going to wrap this on up. Let's see. 17.4. Just making an extra $1,200 a month will put you at $31,000. This is a huge down payment. This is you knowing that you're going to buy property. This is you knowing going into a year that you have to put money to the side and having the plan. Can you get your credit together in a year? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Can you save this money in a year? Yes, you can be rich after a year. And I'm going to call rich like this: freedom. You can have freedom after a year. Follow this plan. Every day I'm going to come back at 12. That's the goal. Unless I'm on an airplane or somewhere where I can't stream live. Let's say I come back every day. 12 o'clock, we'll do 12 to 12:30. If you guys like that, give me the thumbs up. Give me something. If you want something geared to your specific situation, let me know. You know? But this right here, this is specifically for the winner. Now, you don't have to be the winner to do this, but I know the winner is not going to have to pay $17,400. So if they were paying rent before, now it can come back. I know the winner is not going to have to take just any job to pay the rent. So now the winner can start a side hustle. Now the winner can, I'm going to use the ones I've done. Now the winner can be a personal trainer and make $70,000 to $100,000 a year. Now the winner can start a janitorial company that makes 6 figures a year. Now the winner can do what the winner wants to focus on and not have to worry about being kicked out. You won't have to be kicked out for rent. You don't have to worry about that. Now, if you're too loud and you're doing crazy stuff, that breaks the lease, yes, of course you got to go. But if you're handling your business, you should get rich. Come on back here. We'll go into more details. This is day 1. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Hey, make sure you share this with folks. If you see the vision of having these giveaways, You know, you see the vision. It ain't just about living in the property. It's about changing your life and changing other people's lives. That's the vision. The mission, it comes through supporting the mission, comes through merch. You know, if we have, I'll give this example, 1,000 people pick up a shirt, that's $30,000. We can damn near give away 2 properties for that, 2 apartments for that, and we can keep this going. And the last one is join the movement. You know, supporting with the merch, sharing, and being behind us. You know, join this movement. Now, I don't have to be the only one giving away properties. I can show you guys how to do this. Right now, we're creating a sustainable business model. We are a startup. Who knows what's going to happen? I have faith that, it's going to take off. And that's why I'm selling my property, so I can put those funds into this business. Let's go. This has been Frank Financial, just trying to give you guys these gems. Let's get rich together. All right. Thank you for coming, Rajit, and thank you for coming, Timothy, whichever you prefer. I'll holler at you guys. Peace.